This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
It is 5 o'clock here on your Monday. Good morning to you. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Here's what's making headlines on this June 15th. An overnight shooting sends one person to the hospital. This morning, what police say led up to the gunfire.
Blackjack, roulette, and slot machines, they are close to being played once again at Indiana casinos. Working for you, we're looking at the changes you can expect when you step inside.
And Hoosier families struggling to put food on the table. We are live this morning with how you can help ease the burden. But first, we do want to get a check of our Storm Team 6 forecast.
That's right. We have Alyssa Donovan in the house with us today to break down what we can expect in our forecast. Alyssa, it's going to be another great day.
It's going to be beautiful today and really a beautiful week ahead. We're going to see calm conditions for our week, and we are going to see a bit of a warming trend. And we're starting with that today. Temperatures starting a little cool this morning. Right around 6 a.m. we're going to be at 52. Staying that way at 7 a.m., 56 by 8 a.m. Clear skies to start. High pressure is in control today, so we're going to start with clear and sunny skies. We could see a little bit more cloud coverage for eastern portions of the state this afternoon, and that's just because we have this disturbance just off to our east. That's going to push towards Indiana. Could bring us an isolated shower for extreme eastern counties this afternoon as well, but most of us are going to stay dry, and we'll just see a little bit more cloud coverage later today from that. Temperatures today are going to be the coolest for the work week in terms of highs. Temperatures right around 79 degrees for a daytime high. The good news, low humidity in our forecast today. We will see that humidity spiking up as we head into next weekend with that warming trend throughout the week. Temperatures will be into the 90s by Friday. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now over on the west side. This is I-465 and I-74 where traffic is moving along up to speed in all directions. We'll continue to keep our eyes on your roads throughout the Monday and let you know if there are any issues you need to avoid.
New this morning, one person is in the hospital following a shooting on the city's northeast side. Officers were called to a shots fired call in the 8,000 block of East 35th Place just after midnight. That's just south of 38th and Franklin Road. IMPD tells us officers found bullet holes in a home, and inside they found a victim with a gunshot wound to the back. At this hour, that victim is listed in serious condition. It is 5:02, turning now to the latest on the coronavirus and how it's impacting Hoosier families. The state health department reports 9 new COVID-19 deaths. 2,240 Hoosiers have now died from the coronavirus. This morning, nearly 40,000 Hoosiers have tested positive.
The dice will roll and the slot handles will be pulled once again at Indiana casinos in less than an hour. Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson and Indiana Grand Racing and Casino in Shelbyville, they will officially resume gaming at 6 a.m. Both will operate at reduced capacity with slot machines arranged for social distancing. Game tables will be non-smoking with limited seating. You'll be required to wear a mask. Live horse racing will begin today at Indiana Grand and at Hoosier Park tomorrow. Both racing programs will be held without spectators until further notice.
RTV6 is teaming up with Kroger and Second Helpings beginning today to raise money and feed Indiana families. This morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live from one of the donation locations. Kelsey, what do people need to do?
Hey, good morning, Meredith. So all they have to do is round up when they go to Kroger store. So a lot of people right now are unable to put food on the table because of COVID-19, and that's why we're partnering with Second Helpings to make sure no one goes hungry right now. So from June 15th, that's today, to the 21st, shoppers can go to select Central Indiana Kroger stores and round up their order or make a donation of their choice at checkout. The money will go directly to Second Helpings and getting meals in the hands of those struggling to put food on the table. Demand for food assistance is nearly double what it was before the pandemic, and often from people who never imagined they would need it.
We want to eliminate hunger in Kroger communities, and right now the need for that kind of support is greater than it's ever been. We know there are people who are coming to Second Helpings asking for help, people who've never needed help before. So we're trying to do everything we can to support that work and support the people of our communities.
Every day, WRTV works to shine a light on urgent needs created by the pandemic and is committed to helping those struggling to make ends meet. That's why us and the Scripps Howard Foundation will match up to $12,000 of donations made this week. Now, if you this is all you have to do is shop at participating Kroger stores, or you can just go to secondhelpings.com to donate. We'll have more information for you throughout the rest of this morning and a closer inside look coming up at 6 of what Second Helpings does and what the inside here looks like. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV 6.
Kelsey, thank you. The time now is 5:05 as Hoosiers continue to struggle to find adequate access to food. Local nonprofits are getting help to provide those resources. Shepherd Community Center is a ministry on the Near East Side working to help families break the cycle of poverty. Their focus before the pandemic was heavily on deployment, but it's transformed to providing families with food and financial help for bills. The TCC gives a corporate giving initiative focused on strengthening communities across the country. It awarded 5 organizations in Indianapolis $2,000. We talked to one of the leaders at Shepherd Community Center about what that money will be used for.
Probably the biggest one is food for us. That's outside of some of the family stabilization dollars that we've been connecting with families with. Food is our next biggest category. We've really done a lot from daily meals to breakfast, lunch every day to big food distributions, usually multiple times a week. And so we're planning to use the dollars in that way.
During the pandemic, Shepherd Community Center is also helping students with e-learning, holding virtual job fairs, and providing medical assistance.
Hiring Hoosiers is RTV6's commitment to connecting you with job opportunities and resources. Throughout the pandemic, it's an initiative that's especially important with so many businesses closing, resulting in Hoosiers out of work. Now Courier is a logistics company that provides delivery options for companies primarily in the healthcare, e-commerce, and financial industries. Right now, during the pandemic, they are busy transporting both COVID-19 tests and COVID-19 antibody tests to and from more than 60 Indiana labs and healthcare facilities.
We need drivers as bad today as we did 3 months ago, and probably even worse than we'll need them here in the next couple months. So absolutely, we're looking for independent contract drivers who drive their own vehicle, run their own business. Unemployment with where it is, you know, I'd love to see some of those people who have not been able to, make money for their family come drive for us.
During the pandemic, Now Courier has seen a nearly 25% increase in healthcare-related deliveries due to COVID-19. They provide drivers with the supplies required for a safe and timely transport. And if you're headed out on the roads this morning, Alyssa, the skies are clear and the temps, well, they're a bit chilly. I admittedly turned on the heat in my car this morning, believe it or not.
It feels a little chilly out today. Areas to the north, you are starting in the upper 40s. We're in the mid 50s right now, so that feels a little chilly, especially because we don't have a lot of humidity out there. Clear skies to start as well. So we're starting with our temperatures in the 50s. By the noon hour, we'll hit right around 72 degrees. Sunshine, high pressure is in control, so we're going to see those clear skies for most of the day today. That's what we're starting out with as well. But you can see just off to our east, we do have a low pressure system that's approaching. That is going to bring us a small impact later today. Nothing major, just a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon, especially for eastern portions of the state. We could see some of those clouds sneak into central Indiana as well. Also can't rule out an isolated stray shower, again, mainly over eastern portions of the state if we see that at all. Most of us, though, are going to stay dry. Temperatures today climbing into the upper 70s. And as we look at the rest of the week, sunny and pleasant today, more sunshine as we head into the rest of the week, climbing into the upper 80s by Wednesday. Then we are into the 90s as we head into the weekend. I'll have those details in just a few minutes.
Alyssa, thank you. Protests in Atlanta reigniting after the shooting of an unarmed black man Friday night. After the break, why the city's police chief resigned following that incident.
And we're taking a look at traffic as you're heading out on the roads this Monday morning. This is the ramp system to the northeast, I-69 and I-465, where everything's traveling up to speed. The time right now is 5:09 on your Monday. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Greatest seasons ever. New tonight on ABC.
New protests after the police killing of a black man in Atlanta. Rayshard Brooks was shot in the back as he ran after officers tried to arrest him for alleged drunk driving. The Atlanta police chief has resigned, and the district attorney says they'll decide within the next few days whether to bring charges. As ABC's Andrea Fujii reports, the autopsy has now been released, and the police union is now speaking out, claiming the mayor has a bias and saying the officer involved was fired without due process.
Overnight, demonstrations from coast to coast after another deadly police shooting of a black man. Protesters also gathering at the Wendy's restaurant in Atlanta, where a police officer shot Rayshard Brooks Friday night. The incident all captured on police body and dash cam video, which began after the officers responded to a call that Brooks was allegedly asleep in his car, blocking the drive-thru. Police say he was then given multiple sobriety tests, which they say he failed.
Can you take a preliminary breath test for me? Just yes or no? I don't want to refuse anything.
Police say he resisted arrest, which turned into a struggle, leading to him grabbing an officer's taser. Brooks flees and appears to point the stun gun at the officers while he runs away. Investigators say Officer Garrett Rolfe then fired 3 shots at Brooks, who died at the hospital after surgery. This morning, an autopsy reveals Brooks was shot twice in the back and lists the manner of death as homicide. Protesters hitting the streets over the weekend, setting fire to the Wendy's as the Atlanta police chief stepped down. The police department fired Officer Rolfe and suspended the other officer. This morning, the police union says Officer Rolfe was terminated without due process. According to the district attorney, a decision on whether to file charges is expected by midweek, and he says murder charges are being considered.
Following the facts, we're going to be examining and re-examining the evidence.
I didn't know that I was going to wake up to my husband never coming home.
Brooks' wife says he was not dangerous and calls the shooting a murder. Andrea Fujii, ABC News, New York.
At 5:14 this morning, a new report claims that thousands of cruise ship workers are trapped out at sea. The Miami Herald reports nearly 42,000 cruise ship employees remain on the ships without paychecks. Some are still suffering from the coronavirus more than 3 months after that industry shut down. The CDC has prevented cruises in the U.S. waters through at least July 24th.
Later this week, Indiana Democrats will announce who will run for the State Attorney General's seat this November. Longtime State Senator Karen Tallian and former Evansville Mayor Jonathan Weinzapfel are vying for the party nomination. The selection will be made by state delegates rather than primary election voters. Convention delegates received their mailed ballots in May and were required to turn them in by Friday. The Democratic nominee will be announced Thursday. That is the same day Republicans will consider their nominee at their state party convention. And I'm going to nominate Alyssa for providing us with the best forecast for our Monday.
Thank you. It's going to be a gorgeous day. Temperatures starting a little cool this morning. The Midwest is seeing high pressure in control and clear skies overnight. So we've seen those temperatures drop off pretty substantially, starting in the low 50s this morning here in Indianapolis. We will climb quickly, though, as sunshine prevails throughout the day. So we're starting with those clear skies this morning. By about 8 a.m., we'll hit 64 degrees. 10 a.m., we'll be reaching the low 70s, and then we'll just be climbing into the upper 70s this afternoon. We could see some spots hit those low 80s today, but most of us are going to see those upper 70s. What's going on right now? High pressure is in control. Clear skies are prevailing, and we're going to stay that way throughout most of the day. But you can see just off to our east, we have this upper level low. That's going to sneak into Indiana later this afternoon. Not going to have a huge impact. All it's really going to do is bring us a little bit of cloud coverage. So the first half of the day, plenty of sunshine, and then just a few high clouds this afternoon and into the early evening. You can see a little bit of precipitation on our TrueCast. Most of that possibility of an isolated shower will be for extreme eastern counties, but we can't rule out maybe an isolated shower sneaking in to more central Indiana. If you do see that, it will be quick and it will be light, but most of us are going to see a very dry and beautiful start to our work week. A warming trend is on tap, so high pressure is in control right now. It's going to stay that way for most of the week, and then we are going to see our flow change, which will help bring in a little bit more heat as we head through the week. So we're starting in those upper 70s today, and then by Friday, we will be into the low 90s. So warming trend on tap. Excuse me. We're starting today mild with those temperatures in the 50s, 79 degrees for our high with mostly sunny skies. Again, just a little bit of cloud coverage sneaking in this afternoon. Low humidity, light winds. It's really going to be a beautiful day, just a little bit below average for June this time of year. Looking at the rest of the week, 85 on Tuesday, 87 on Wednesday. That sunshine sticking with us, sunny and hot by Friday. And then we do have some humidity back in the forecast for the weekend, which means the possibility of storms. The best chance looks like it will be Saturday night into Sunday. Can't rule out maybe an afternoon storm on Saturday as well.
All right, Alyssa, thank you so much. Let's take a look right now at traffic as you're heading out on the roads. This is I-65 and Keystone Avenue south of downtown. We still have ongoing construction. The southbound lanes are on more of the left side of your screen. Those are restricted down to 2 lanes. The exit ramps and entrance ramps remain open. Northbound side shifts over to the southbound side, so 2 big curves you'll have to hit, so just take it slow through that area. The exit and entrance ramps remain open on that side of the interstate as well. Use caution and watch for workers in construction zones.
With most regular cinemas closed, drive-in movies are roaring back to life. If it's been a while since you've attended, you might want to do a little planning to make sure your family can maintain social distancing. You'll want to avoid the crowded areas as much as possible, so bring your own snacks and try to limit bathroom breaks. Some health experts say it's safest to watch from inside the car, but sitting in the hatch area with the trunk open is fine too. And you might want to bring some activities for the kids before the show starts to help keep them close by.
At 5:18 in the days and weeks after lockdown started, it became somewhat of a running joke that we see a lot of couples breaking up. But some researchers wanted to see if that's actually the case. So they polled 2,300 adults who were living with their partner when the pandemic hit. About 25% said they started arguing more, but another 25% said that they were arguing less. So I guess it just depends on who you talk to.
The Hoosier State is getting back on track, and now it's time to get back to racing after the break, where you can catch some of USAC's biggest stars this week.
And we are keeping a close eye on your roads around the metro area. Here's a live look from I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue east of downtown. Traffic is moving along up to speed, both eastbound and westbound. We'll have more news, weather, and traffic coming up after the break. Stick around.
NASCAR taking to the track at Miami Homestead Motor Speedway for the Dixie Vodka 400. And this race would be something that we haven't seen in quite some time. Fans in the stands. They would have to be evacuated from the stands a couple of times because of lightning, but it wouldn't be Florida without those summer thunderstorms. Denny Hamlin wins both stages in the checkered flag. Drivers return to the track Sunday at Talladega. And racing fans may have missed out during the month of May, but there will be some hot laps turned in the Hoosier State this month.
And the grandstands will not be empty for those events. Brad Brown has a look at where all the action is taking place.
NASCAR was first to get rolling. IndyCar's gotten a taste of the action too. And now USAC's top national series are getting back on track as well. Last weekend saw races in Oklahoma and Iowa. Next week, they'll turn some laps back here in the Hoosier State.
You know, everybody's been cooped up and everybody's chomping at the bit. So we're firing right into it, you know, hot and heavy now. So that's great. Everybody's excited to be racing and everybody's trying to get to every race that they can.
Essentially, once you put that helmet on and go get on the racetrack, it's just it's another night. You're focused on, you know, going out and doing your best you can on the racetrack night in and night out. And when you're out there, you're not really thinking about anything except for doing that.
Indiana Midget Week starts on Tuesday. 6 straight nights of racing, one of the premier set of events on the dirt track calendar. Logan Seavey won the overall title a year ago.
I think USAC Midgets is right now probably one of the toughest series in the country. You look at the entry list, it's insane, you know, and it's tough. So every time you hit the racetrack, you got to be ready and you got to be good.
Gas City's I-69 Speedway will host next Wednesday's races. There are plenty of new challenges with the state's COVID-19 guidelines, but the business of racing takes a big step forward with these events.
When Governor Holcomb came back with his guidelines and his phases for reopening, and we had clarification on that, that really gave us a goal to say, okay, let's get ready, and we can come out of the box on June 17th. The USAC has done a great job of organizing the promoters.
For the drivers, it's been a welcome return to action and something resembling normal as spring turns into summer.
It's going to be, a crazy week, but, we do it every year, and it's just something that, at the end of it, you're wore out, but you're almost wishing you could do it again the following week.
6 days in a row where you come back to the shop every night, wash your race car, sleep for a couple hours, come back, maintenance, load it back up, and go racing again.
We weren't full capacity at a lot of the tracks, but the energy was full. People were, cheering and screaming, and you could tell that they've been, they're ready to be back.
The other big headline out of all of this is that fans will be able to attend the races as Indiana reaches phase 4 of Governor Holcomb's Back on Track plan. The racing begins on Tuesday night at Paragon Raceway. That is located just west of Martinsville. Gas City is on Wednesday night. Lincoln Park Speedway in Putnamville will host Thursday and Friday. Lawrenceburg and Kokomo will close out the week. You'll need to buy tickets in advance, though. USACtickets.com is the website. And again, each track will have only 50% capacity, and a lot of those seats have been sold already. Along with the midget cars each night, the USAC sprint cars will be running as well. Some of the best drivers from all over the country will be part of this. Sure to be some great racing each and every night.
All right, Brad, thank you so much. Well, we do want to get a check of our forecast for today. So Alyssa Donovan is here in studio. Alyssa, when we have things only open at 50% capacity or only outside, it is nice when the weather cooperates.
Yeah, and you know what? Today is going to be a great day to hit some of those patios that are open across Mass Avenue. We're going to see those temperatures into the low 70s by the noon hour, so a good day to get out there for lunch. A little cool to start, though. Temperatures in the 50s across the area. Plenty of sunshine throughout the day. That's the good news. We'll see a little bit more cloud coverage this afternoon. Highs today into the upper 70s, and then we'll continue a bit of a warming trend as we head through the rest of the week. We'll be into the 90s by Friday.
Alyssa, thank you. Well, it may be the middle of June, but the fall semester is already on the minds of Hoosier families. Still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, why some school districts say it's necessary they return to a physical classroom. And here's a live look right now at traffic. I-70 a little west of Lyndhurst Drive. Just a reminder, as we head into a brand new work week, we still have the eastbound lanes of I-70 closed between Ronald Reagan Parkway and the South Split downtown for a major INDOT construction project. That's set to wrap up at the end of June. Of course, we'll keep you updated. The plan ahead, you can use the collector ramp as a detour. We'll be back after the break.
Greatest seasons ever. New tonight on ABC. This is Good Morning Indiana. Working for you.
Now at 5:30, downtown Indianapolis filled with peaceful protesters this weekend with calls for change in police policy. Their message as another police shooting investigation sparks outrage across the nation.
And Indiana is now opening COVID-19 testing to everyone. How you can get tested even if you're not showing symptoms. But first, here it is 5:30. Want to wish you a good morning. Thanks for joining us here on RTV6. I'm Lauren Casey.
And I'm Meredith Barrick. Alyssa Donovan here with us to start our work week off, and the weather is looking wonderful, Alyssa.
Yeah, you guys, it's going to be a really great start to our week, and then we're going to see very nice temperatures really throughout, but a little bit of a warming trend. This is going to be our nice, pleasant day in the forecast before we start to see a little bit more heat progress throughout the week. Temperatures starting in the 50s this morning, so you'll notice it's just a little bit chilly as you step outside, just a little bit below average. Usually our daytime morning starts are in the low 60s, so we're about 10 degrees below average for our daytime start. High pressure is in control today. That means clear skies to start and clear skies for most of the day. You'll see just off to our east, we do have this system that's going to approach Indiana as we head into the afternoon and early evening, just bringing us some light clouds for eastern portions of the state, maybe an isolated shower for extreme eastern portions of the state. Most of us, though, will just see a little bit of cloud coverage this afternoon and stay dry. The rest of the week, temperatures will continue to climb. We'll be into the 90s by Friday. Today, though, upper 70s for our daytime highs, starting in the 50s this morning. So you might want a light jacket as you head out the door, but you definitely won't need it this afternoon with a little bit more cloud coverage later today.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Let's look at traffic right now as you're heading out for this Monday morning commute. I-465 and I-69 to our northeast. Everything here is traveling up to speed. It is picking up a little bit already at this early hour, but no delays to slow you down. So let's take one more live look at a different location from our INDOT traffic camera. This one, we're looking all the way over on the west side, just a stalled vehicle there on the side of the road, but it's out of the travel lanes and traffic is moving along up to speed.
Peaceful protests continued in downtown Indianapolis this weekend. Dozens filled the steps on on Monument Circle maintaining the call for change. An alumni chapter of the Delta Sigma Theta sorority organized Sunday's demonstration. They carried signs and walked from the city-county building to Monument Circle. Many families participated, fighting for new police policies and a more promising future.
I'm out here marching today because I have 3 black sons and they matter. And I want to see my grandchildren and my great-grandchildren. I want to see them live. I want to see them have a successful future. I want them to show the world that they are not a threat.
Protesters also called for transparency in policing policies as the investigation into Drejon Reed's death continues. A prayer vigil was held later in the evening. 3 weeks have passed since George Floyd was killed in police custody, and since protests throughout the nation continue over police brutality.
Now, a police shooting in Atlanta on Friday has sparked even more outrage, and John Lawrence reports.
A large crowd disrupting traffic on an Atlanta interstate Sunday night. They're protesting Friday's fatal police shooting of Rayshard Brooks. Police found Brooks asleep in his car at a Wendy's drive-thru. After a sobriety test, an officer tries to arrest him.
Put your hands behind your back.
Brooks resists and there is a scuffle. Witness video shows Brooks taking a taser from police, and surveillance video shows him shooting it toward an officer. He was then shot by police and taken to a hospital where he was pronounced dead.
We know he was shot twice in the back, once in his mid-back and once in his buttocks, and those shots ended up killing him.
An autopsy report lists the 27-year-old's death as a homicide.
I watched the interaction with Mr. Brooks, and it broke my heart. This was not confrontational.
The day after the shooting, protesters set fire to the Wendy's where Brooks was killed, and Officer Garrett Rolfe, who police say shot Brooks, was terminated. The other officer at the scene is on administrative duty. In addition to Atlanta, there were calls for police reform in numerous other cities, including Washington, D.C., New York, and Miami.
These deaths will not be in vain. There's a movement across this country, and it is changing all of our cities.
I'm John Lawrence reporting.
Now to our continuing coverage of the COVID-19 outbreak. After this weekend, Indiana is now reporting nearly 40,000 total cases since the pandemic began. The State Department of Health reporting 17 new deaths Saturday and 9 on Sunday. There were more than 800 new cases confirmed over those 2 days. More than 348,000 have been tested for the virus so far. 11.5% of those tests are coming back positive. And starting today, COVID-19 testing will be available to all Hoosiers, even if you're not experiencing symptoms. The state has slowly been relaxing its testing rules and policies and announced this big change to the policy on Friday. Now, as long as you live or work here in Indiana, you can get tested at one of the hundreds of sites across the state.
We recognize that this is a significant change from our focus on high-risk individuals and those who are symptomatic. But our testing capacity has improved significantly since the start of this pandemic, and we want Hoosiers to take advantage of that.
You can call 888-634-1116, or you can visit the Indiana State Department of Health's website to make an appointment at one of the OptumServe sites. You will not be charged for the testing, but if you do have insurance, you need to bring that information with you.
The city-county building will partially reopen today for criminal court appearances and police services. All other city and county agencies will reopen June 22nd. Juvenile courts will reopen July 6th, while traffic court will continue to operate remotely for the foreseeable future. Entrances on Market, Delaware, and Washington streets will be open with security checkpoints at each. The city will require face coverings for everyone entering the city-county building. Reusable face coverings will be available for people who do not have one.
2 local school districts say that they will reopen to students this fall. Brownsburg school superintendent says that Hendricks County health officials approved the town's plans to reopen the schools, and students will begin the school year on time in late July with an online optional available. The plan will allow schools to open on July 30th with in-person classes 5 days a week. An online option for kindergarten through 8th grade will be available for students with medical conditions that prohibit them from returning to school. In Monroe County Community School Corporation down in Bloomington says it's also ready to return next school year. The district made the announcement on Facebook saying that they will begin in-person classes as planned on August 5th. Like Brownsburg schools, they will also provide an online class option. The district says it will have more updates as they finalize plans.
WRTV is teaming up with Kroger and Second Helpings beginning today to raise money and feed Indiana families. This morning, our Kelsey Anderson joins us live from one of the donation locations. And Kelsey, it is so crucial right now that people round up just to help other families in need.
That's right, Meredith. All you have to do is round up at your local Kroger because so many people right now are struggling during COVID-19. They're struggling to put food on their tables, and that's why we're partnering with Second Helpings to help Hoosiers in need. So from June 15th to the 21st, shoppers can go to select Central Indiana Kroger stores and round up their order or make a donation of their choice at checkout. The money will go directly to Second Helpings and getting meals in the hands of those struggling to put food on the table. Demand for food assistance is nearly double what it was before the pandemic, and it's oftentimes from people who never imagined they would need it.
We want to eliminate hunger in Kroger communities, and right now, the need for that kind of support is greater than it's ever been. We know there are people who are coming to Second Helpings asking for help, people who've never needed help before. So we're trying to do everything we can to support that work and support the people of our communities.
WRTV works to shine a light on urgent needs created by the pandemic and is committed to helping those struggling to make ends meet. That's why WRTV and the Scripps Howard Foundation will match up to $12,000 of donations made this week. Now, so if you are going to shop at a local Kroger store, make sure you just round up. If you have the means to do so, just round up your order, or you can make a donation at secondhelpings.org. And then for more ways to donate, head over to the indychannel.com/rebound. Reporting live, Kelsey Anderson, RTV6.
Kelsey, thank you so much. The time right now is 5:39. Another company here in Indianapolis is working together to offer healthcare workers free lawn care services. The co-founder of the business Plows and Mows says the app is like Uber, but it's for lawn care. Healthcare workers just need to type in the code HERO when they check out on the app, and they'll receive a free lawn care service of up to $60.
It's heartwarming to get the feedback saying, hey, this was so nice that I was able to spend the 2 hours that I would have mowed my lawn to sit home and spend time with my kids, etc. So it's been very encouraging for our company.
Plows and Mows connects customers with local landscapers. They say by using their app, it also helps these local businesses that are facing challenges during the pandemic. It is 5:39. Let's toss things over to Alyssa for a look at today's forecast.
And we're starting a little chilly this morning, but we're going to warm up this afternoon, and we're going to warm up quite a bit as we head through the work week. 53 to start today. You can see to the north of us, 51 in Peru, 50 in Tipton. So a few cooler spots. Usually we're right around the low 60s this time of year to start our days. So we're starting just a little cool this morning. That's partially due to those clear skies overnight. That is because we have high pressure in control right now, and it's going to stay that way for the next several days. That high pressure going to continue to bring us mostly clear skies for the next few days here. As we head into the afternoon, a small disturbance just off to our east will bring us a little bit of cloud coverage, maybe an isolated shower for areas to the east, but most of us are going to stay dry. 79 for the high today. Looking ahead to Tuesday, 85, 87 by Wednesday. 90s are in the forecast. All of those details coming up.
All right, Alyssa, thank you. Thousands of pounds of ground beef are now being recalled from Walmart. Working for you, what you need to know about multiple brands with E. coli concerns.
And the number of people testing positive for COVID-19 is up in nearly half the country. Why health experts are saying 22 states are seeing a spike in cases. It's 5:40. We'll be right back.
Flings with 2 times Oxy Boost and Febreze.
Welcome back. The time right now is 5:44. Here's a live look north of downtown. This is I-65, a view near 30th Street, where traffic's picking up northbound and southbound. No delays to slow down your morning commute.
We have a recall alert for you this morning. A New Jersey meat processing company is recalling nearly 43,000 pounds of ground beef sold at Walmart stores around the country. There's concern about possible E. coli contamination. The affected products were produced on June 1st and sold under the Thomas Foods International and Market Side Butcher labels. Customers should either throw away the meat or return the packages. For more information, you can call the Lakeside Processing Call Center at 856-832-3881.
There are new surges in coronavirus numbers. At least 22 states and Puerto Rico are showing a rise in the infection rate. Meanwhile, 8 states have a rise in hospitalizations. Still others are continuing plans to reopen. ABC's Alex Perche has more now from Washington.
This morning, more reopenings. New Jersey, the latest state to enter a new phase, allowing non-essential retail and outdoor dining. But across the country, coronavirus cases are on the rise. At least 22 states and Puerto Rico have an increase in new reported cases. That includes Arizona. There have been 1,200 new cases since Saturday. Now, some Phoenix bars and restaurants are closing down for a second time. In Utah, COVID-19 is disproportionately affecting the Latino community. They're 14% of the population, but make up 42% of the cases. Florida set another record, reporting 2,000 cases in 24 hours for the second day in a row. The governor there saying an outbreak among farm workers and increased testing in nursing homes is partially behind the surge in numbers.
We're doing 3 times as many tests a day now than we did at the end of March.
The mayor of Key West citing some of the crowded beaches.
I have a concern there. We would certainly like to welcome in all of our tourism, but we would like it to be respectful and responsible.
8 states have seen an increase in hospitalizations.
We don't yet know what our peak is.
Texas and Arizona set new hospitalization records. Long testing lines like this backed up over the weekend. New York State is seeing its lowest number of hospitalizations and deaths since the pandemic began. But images like this over the weekend have drawn criticism from the governor.
A bar or restaurant that is violating these rules can lose their liquor license. We are not kidding around with this. You're talking about jeopardizing people's lives.
Also, 2 Big Ten schools say they'll have students on campus this fall. Yesterday, both Penn State and the University of Wisconsin announced plans to reopen with students. Alex Prochet, ABC News, Washington.
Fraudsters have been using every platform to steal money for COVID-19 related reasons, but right now texting is what they're targeting. The people behind Text Killer, a new free app that blocks scam messages, say they've flagged thousands of texts. Recent fake messages have focused on contact tracing and other virus information. If you get a text like this, don't reply thinking you're unsubscribing. That just confirms to the scammer your number is active. The FTC says people have lost more than $59 million combined from COVID-19 related scams.
The Surgeon General is pushing back on the idea that face coverings infringe on freedoms. Dr. Jerome Adams tweeting here on Sunday saying that if more people wear them, we'll have more freedom to go out. He says the masks lead to less asymptomatic spread of the virus, which will allow more places to open sooner and improve our economy. Early guidance from U.S. officials did not recommend face coverings. The CDC later said in April it would help in places like grocery stores where social distancing is hard to maintain.
Major League Baseball has until the end of the day today to inform the Players Union of its plan for this season. Over the weekend, the 2 agencies continued to butt heads over the number of games and player salaries. Baseball players told the commissioner's office additional talks to start the season during the coronavirus pandemic are, quote, futile, and said owners should order a return to work. The union's actions could lead to a season of about 50 games instead of the 82 initially proposed. That would make this season the shortest since the 1870s. Here at 5:48, Alyssa, it looks like the sun is starting to rise out there.
Yeah, so it's starting to come up and you can see it. Beautiful clear skies this morning. A great day to come out and watch the sunrise, officially rising at 6:17. So we're just starting that. You can see that on our Weather Now North View downtown camera. Temperatures right now a little chilly outside, 53 degrees in Indianapolis. Those winds are light out of the northeast, about 8 miles per hour. Because of that direction those winds are coming in from, it feels a little chillier outside. And we also have those clear skies, so no cloud coverage to insulate us from that cooler, drier air coming in from the north. High pressure in control today, and it's going to stay that way for much of the week. You can see we do have a disturbance just off to our east. That will impact us later today, but just a small impact. For the most part, the first half of the day, plenty of sunshine in the forecast and light winds and calm conditions. But as we head into the afternoon and early evening, we will start to see some cloud coverage as that system makes its way to the west from the east. And we also have the potential of just an isolated spot shower for areas to extreme eastern counties in Indiana. Very small chance we would see any of those spot showers in central Indiana. Can't rule it out, though. If you do see them, they will be very brief and light. More likely, we'll just see a little bit of high cloud coverage this afternoon. But besides that, plenty of sunshine and dry conditions throughout your Monday. Looking ahead to Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday, we have this mild air in place. That's going to get pushed out as we see a zonal flow in place. That's going to help usher in some warmer air over the next couple days, taking our temperatures up, and that partnered with that high pressure, keeping our skies clear. Plenty of sunshine, which means some daytime heating throughout our days. Tuesday, we'll be into the mid-80s, staying in the 80s Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday, some areas will likely hit 90 degrees, expected to be into the upper 80s here in Indianapolis, and then we will see those temperatures in the 90s for the weekend. Humidity is back in the forecast for the weekend as well. So most of the week we'll see low humidity, so we'll just feel that heat as it continues to build. Today, starting a little cool this morning in the 50s, we'll climb into the upper 70s this afternoon. Just a little bit of cloud coverage later today as well, and maybe a spot isolated shower for areas to the east. Looking at the rest of the 7-day forecast, 85 tomorrow, sunny skies, more sunshine on Wednesday. That heat continues to build on Thursday, 90s for Friday and Saturday. Storm possibilities move in late Saturday, overnight, and into Sunday as we start to see more humidity in the forecast.
Alyssa, thank you. We are keeping a close eye on traffic this Monday morning. Here's a live look on the near east side of town. You can see the city skyline there in the background. I-70 at Rural Street and Keystone Avenue, where everything's traveling up to speed in both directions, moving to and away from downtown. We'll continue to keep you updated if there are any delays to slow down your commute.
With the country shifting to mail-in voting amid the pandemic, blind voters are worried about their privacy. Many have raised concerns about trusting the person filling out their ballot to do it correctly. Advocates for the blind have taken legal action in 3 states. They want blind voters to have access to systems used by overseas soldiers that vote electronically. That way, blind voters can use their own computers and assistive technology to read and fill out ballots themselves.
Musical superstar Beyonce Knowles Carter is joining in the calls for charges in the killing of Breonna Taylor with a letter. She wrote to the Kentucky Attorney General saying the officers involved should face prosecution, and she wants the Louisville Police Department to be investigated over the incident. Police killed 26-year-old Taylor during a no-knock warrant raid on the wrong apartment. Beyonce says these actions would, quote, demonstrate the value of a black woman's life, end quote. More artists are using the streets as their choice of canvas during this movement. In Brooklyn, the words Black Lives Matter were painted in yellow letters along Fulton Street. Across the country in Hollywood, a similar mural was painted on Popular Boulevard. That message reads, all Black Lives Matters, and it was written in a rainbow showing solidarity also with members of the Black LGBTQ community. The street mural trend began in Washington, D.C., where the words were painted near Capitol Hill.
Lots of companies are beginning to create their own face masks, including Dunkin'. After the break, we'll show you how you can get these fun donut-themed designs. We'll be right back.
We can still be close.
Need a new face mask? Dunkin' says don't worry, the company has created their own. Dunkin' says since everyone who works there is required to wear a mask, they decided to design some of their own. There are 5 to choose from. 2 of them even have a half donut in place of a smile. The masks aren't medical grade, but they do have 2 layers. You can find them on Dunkin's website for $10. I wonder if they're donut scented. That would make it a little more appealing to have over your mouth.
Sugar.
Yeah.
A little sugar in there.
Yeah, a little tempting. All right, as you are heading out the door on this Monday, we have more good news in the weather department. So Alyssa's here to tell us all about it.
Yeah, it's going to be a beautiful day. We're starting a little cool this morning, so you'll notice that when you step outside, temperatures in the 50s. But the good news, plenty of sunshine, and we're going to stay sunny for most of the day, low humidity, and then we'll see a little bit of cloud coverage this afternoon. Our high today will be into the upper 70s. We'll continue to climb for the rest of the week. Looking ahead tomorrow, we will be into the mid-80s, staying that way through Thursday, 90s as we head into the weekend. You're watching Good Morning Indiana. We'll be right back.